Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Oh, hello. Today's a beautiful day. I have been trying several cherry forward bourbons these last few days. I did the ECBP Y624. I did Elijah Craig. C923, I tried that last night. It was delicious. It was amazing. It was just as I remembered it. And I decided I was going to revisit another one of my bourbons that is cherry-licious. It is an Old Forrester barrel strength bourbon. It comes from Warehouse K Floor 7, 130.1 proof. And to tell you the truth, I was not a fan of this bottle when I first opened it. The local store that I purchase a lot of the releases that I enjoy from, they managed to get this barrel, and I think they wanted $115 for it first. And that was back in November of last year. I was really tempted to buy it, but I thought, I gotta do shopping for the holidays, and I'm really just not sure. It's really hot. I did some research, and it was quickly apparent that the black label, not the blue label, the black label was the best. Okay, controversial opinion, but hear me out. This blue label is very, very, very hot. And essentially the advice that I found on the internet, the source of all good information other than an old man or old woman, is that as you get further down this bottle and as the oxygen gets involved with the process, these really mellow out. They taste a lot better. They turn into less of an ethanol bomb and more of a flavor bomb. But I was hesitant to pull the trigger. It was the first one that I had seen in my area. I thought about it, and then I decided, I'm just going to pass for now. Apparently it is an extremely desirable Warehouse K. It is an upper floor. I think they go up to 8, and this one is a floor 7. It's about 130 proof. What's there not to like about this whiskey? And apparently, with Old Forester, these are only like 4 or 5 years old, this barrel pick. So eventually, after a while, the price just kept going down. Went to 100, then to 90. And finally, when this dinged down to $84.99 for a bottle, I said, it's either that or an Elijah Craig barrel proof, and the A124 I was not going to buy, so I picked up this little guy. And as you can see, I've been working my way through this bottle quite religiously. Truth be told, when I tried this the first time, I proofed it down to 100 proof. You might be asking, why would you do that? It's perfectly good barrel proof bourbon. There's absolutely no reason to do that. That's sacrilege. I'm pretty sure, at least from, again, the most highly trusted source of information I could find, the internet, Brown-Forman actually prefers it when you proof their whiskey down to 100 proof. It really just accepts water well, this whiskey. And when I tried it at 100 proof, I thought this was some of the best 100 proof whiskey I've ever had in my life. It tasted like Black Forest cherry syrup with a little chocolate and oak, like a chocolate oak char. So can you imagine that, like Black Forest cherry syrup with chocolate oak char. And this is proof down to 100 proof, but it was sharp. It was sharp. Um, the same way that you have, let's say, like rum raisin ice cream, and you have it, and it's like, oh, this is kind of nice, and then you have like boozy rum raisin ice cream, or let's say you have a fruit drink at a party, or you get it at a bar, and it's a cocktail without alcohol, and you can taste the fruit, and it's like a nice smoothie. But then you get another one, and you can almost taste the sharpness in the fruit that's surrounding the fruit with alcohol. That's kind of what I got with this at 100 proof. And I was not disappointed. I thought it tasted delicious, and the mouthfeel was incredible. For what I added to the liquid, and I had a 2-ounce pour, and I proofed that down to 100 proof, and it was stellar. It was stellar. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna come, and mind you, this is a first crack, right? So this is as hot as it's gonna get, I thought, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a week of it being open. And then I'll try it barrel strength, right? I won't cut it down. I won't put it down to 100 proof, and we'll see what happens. I mean, how much better is it going to be when I'm not cutting it? Okay. I tried it. Man, it was disappointing. It was so disappointing. I didn't get any of that Black Forest cherry syrup. I just got cough syrup. And the chocolate oak char, I just got wood flakes, burnt wood flakes. And I was so disappointed when I had that. So I've continued to just, over time, every so often, I'll pour out some, dilute with a little bit of water, and I'll drink that. And so far, I've gotten about maybe almost halfway through this bottle. It's got great color to it. Almost halfway through this bottle, and I've only had it once at barrel strength. Until tonight. Until now, when you and I are joined together at the hip on this journey, I'm going to drink and you are not. You're more than welcome to at home, but for now, I gotta enjoy this. I know it's gonna be terrible for both of us. I guess now's the time. Let's go try the nose. Okay, come on. Oof. Wow. That's about as strong as I remember it. That cough syrup cherry, medicinal cherry, came right out the glass. And a lot of alcohol. Let's try it again. See, on the second whiff, I still get a lot of ethanol. And it's a little disappointing. I had 2 over 130 proof Elijah Craig barrel proof products yesterday without any water. And the first sniff that I had was ethanol forward, but after that, the nose just opened up. This so far, I'm not getting a lot of tasting notes or nosing notes other than just medicinal cough syrup, cherry cough syrup, and alcohol. Yeah, that'll clear your nostrils out. Okay. A little bit more oak, cherry, some tropical fruit. I'm getting tropical fruit and banana. It's coming along now. I don't think that's too bad. Still extremely strong and alcohol forward. And I this is a common complaint that I find on reviews of these bottles, is that they are really hot and they just stay hot, and then it takes a while for them to really breathe and open up and just relax. Like Uh, look at the legs. They're dribbling right down. Mm. So if I had to say what this nose comes down to, I would say you ever see like a hop, skip, and a jump on playground, right? Where they have, or better yet, at a road crossing or a sidewalk crossing where they have the black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white across the ground. Think the Beatles, the black and white album or the white album. If I had to say what this nose is, you have the ethanol on one stripe, and then you have a gulf of a other stripe between that and the actual nosing. It feels like the nose is the aromas are one step behind the alcohol, and whatever's in between there is just air. It's just dead air. Um, I wish I had nicer things to say about this. I'm truly a big fan of it when it's proof down, uh, because I think all of that ethanol just recedes into the background, and the fruit on this. I love saying fruit, 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 fruit. Uh, can you tell that there's a commonality between all the bourbon that I like to drink? Fruit in this bourbon just seems to just shine through at 100 proof, and it takes it takes a trunk seat in this bourbon barrel proof product. Uh, it's like, you ever watch Goodfellas and Billy Batts is in the trunk and he's banging on the pop 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 pop. Uh, yeah, that's what the nose on this is right now. Really far behind. Yeah, the best I'm getting here is like medicinal cough syrup. I could open up a bottle of cough syrup from a pharmacy and put it into another glass, and the nose would be very similar. A little tropical fruit. I mean, I get a small amount of oak. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm talking to the bottle right now. It's a great bottle, and I paid a fantastic price for it. And maybe, brown format isn't my thing, but I'm speaking too soon. I've just been nosing this bourbon. I haven't even tasted it yet. I got to give you a fair shot, pal. Got to give you a fair shot. Let's try it. Down the hatch. That went easier than I thought. Proof just evaporated. The finish is going. That tropical, there's more banana, cherry banana, like a dried tropical fruit, maybe like a dried pineapple in there. Okay. Cherry brown sugar, citrus peel, candied pineapple, oak, sweet oak, chocolate on the back end. And rather than the ethanol exploding forward, I almost kind of get like a ginger snap fizz at the end of it. If you ever have like one of those ginger snap cookies, or if you have a piece of ginger and you eat it, it's a little sweet at the front, and then as it travels through your palate, it gets a little hotter and hotter. But mellow that out with a little bit of sugar or like a really, really good ginger ale, refreshing feeling as you sip it and you're drinking the. That's what the ethanol is on this. It's refreshing. It's a refreshing amount of ethanol. I can't believe I'm saying that. The proof actually improves this pour. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm wrong. I was totally wrong from the nose. All I could smell was alcohol on the nose and medicinal cough syrup, cherry flavored, of course. And as I'm sipping this now, I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like it. Maybe it was because I didn't take a taste of this first before I nosed it, but now that I'm nosing it, I'm getting, of course, a little stuffy, but I'm getting more of those candied fruits. I'm getting more oak. I'm getting the candied peel of orange. Getting chocolate. Getting brown sugar molasses. Mouth feels great. It's thick. It is thick like cough syrup. It doesn't taste like it anymore. But it's thick like cough syrup. Wow. Okay. I'm still not impressed with the legs on this. And the nose is not my favorite nose that I've ever had. It's, on one hand, powerful in ethanol, and then on the other, you really have to dig deep to find the notes on the palate that you're getting from the nose. But the palate more than makes up for it. It's a good single barrel. It's a really good single barrel. And I still have that Kentucky hug deep in the middle of my chest from this. I'm still tasting the finish. I'm impressed for a 4 or 5 year old barrel of whiskey. It's 130 proof, and it is high up there on the floor scale. But this is good. This is good. Do I prefer it as opposed to the 100 proof? Still tasting that finish. That's not what I would get when drinking this at 100 proof. The finish doesn't last this long. Yeah, that's really good. Wow. How to put hair on your chest? I think it's mellowed out a little bit since I first tried it. I think it's mellowed out a little bit. I think they're all right. I mean, that's about a third of the way, almost half. That's pretty dang close. And apparently, Warehouse K gets a lot of love for Old Forrester because it has a distinct cherry flavor to it, and it just makes some great barrels. I would pull out my phone, but I don't want to be rude. Oh, that's right. It's recording me. I should have done some more research on this. I feel like a goof. That's the worst part about becoming dependent on the internet. You get a lot of secondhand information, and it's hard to know what the truth is unless you spend a lot of time, just like anything in life, unless you spend a lot of time thinking about it, writing about it, reading about it, and experiencing it. And I think with this bourbon, I'm experiencing this with a little bit more thoughtful consideration and experience than I had before. Wow. Yeah, you can tell I'm starting to slow down a little bit. That means it's working. I don't quite know what else to say about this little guy. The finish is great. Finish is medium to long. I still have, let me think for a second here. I would say that an old Forrester single barrel is a lot like a bottle full of coal. Okay, a bottle full of coal. When you pour it out, like the black coal that you would get out of the ground, when you pour it out into the glass, it is so dry and so easily flammable that even the slightest whiff of air will started to combust. So you're going to get a lot of heat very fast from this bottle. And as you go down, uh, somehow that coal just starts to change to charcoal. It starts to settle into itself, become a little bit more sedentary, and more resistant, right, to the fickle nature of the elements around it. As you drink it, instead of there being a minerality, you get that raw fuel that, as it touches your palate and as it goes down your throat, uh, it just turns into a diamond. I don't think I did this bottle very much justice, but I'm starting to think that I gained a real appreciation for this about a third to halfway there. That was correct. The internet was right about that. This definitely improves over time in a big, significant way. And if you like high proof at first, I'm sure this is your game right there. Um, that's going to be a downside for me, though. On one hand, I like to proof this whiskey down, and if I had to choose, I still have it. I'm still on the fence. I like to proof whiskey down, especially when it's this high, and with my old Forrester products. Uh, I like to do that because I think it lends to the whiskey. It makes really good stuff. If I'm going to look at a possible issue that I have with this bottle, it's that it just takes too long for it to really turn into a good bottle. If I have to drink a third of this and I don't like to proof it down, then what? Like, I gotta wait. I gotta decanter it. I gotta really expose it to some oxygen and let it breathe for a while. Whereas I can open up a bottle, sip it, it tastes great, and then I can continue to sip it, get it to halfway or a third, and that oxygen and the time in the bottle just makes it taste even better, right? And this isn't a cheap bottle. This is $85, and some places even more expensive. And I'm not getting the full enjoyment out of it unless I'm diluting it, or I'm getting to halfway through the bottle. So that means $40 of this value here is getting stretched. But is that the way that it's intended? Even though they say that you should proof it down, and that is the ideal proof for their whiskey is 100 proof, I'm still buying a bottle of the barrel strength. Okay, and there is a separate label for the 100 proof, correct? Now, I know it's up to the guy that purchased the barrel what he wants to do with his barrel, and I'm all for that. And the blue label attracted me. I saw this bottle and I thought, for the right price, I'm going to take a chance on it. How bad can it be? And I've been proven wrong. This is really good whiskey. This is tasty. It's delicious. But it just takes too long to form into a diamond. Yeah, I mean, you could go out there and find yourself a few pearls. You could find yourself a few diamonds in the rough yourself. And it doesn't take nearly as much pressure or as much time to get as good as this. And this is supposedly from a desirable warehouse, which is renowned for really good bourbon, or really good barrels aging that are full of bourbon. So, I mean, I'm going to just keep tasting it. Oh, that smells a lot better. I got a dash of vanilla there. Vanilla cherry cola. Mm. See, that's really good. We're going to do something real quick. Oh. Going to add a little extra water to it. And I think part of the reason why I'm also pretty disappointed with this bottle is because I've had it proof down and I have a vastly better experience. All right, fine, you got me. I had to do a little investigative work and I've decided that I like this whiskey proof down. So for the consumer, I'm not going to complain. I get to proof this whiskey down. That means this bottle gets stretched out further and I get a better experience from that. So instead of, let's just be devil's advocate, instead of getting one bottle's worth of bourbon, if I'm going to cut it with water, if I'm going to proof it down to 100 proof every time, I'll get 1 1/3, 1.5 bottles of whiskey out of this. Sign me up. That's value right there. That's value. And if you want to put it in a decanter, you want to make it look nice, that's great. But as this is right here, this is it needs water. It needs it. It doesn't lend itself to the water. It doesn't grow from the water. It turns into a diamond. It just takes the pressure off. It really makes the whiskey so much better. And I'm curious to see what this would taste like on the rocks with a lot of water, like at 80 or 90 proof. But I'm not that brave. I'm kind of lazy. When I drink, especially my barrel proof bourbon, I like to drink it and forget about it. I like to enjoy it, and then I like to get on to the next one. I don't want to have to do all the extra steps. That's why I'm paying this money so that someone else can do it for me. I know I'm complaining. I'm sounding like a real grump, but I don't know. You make me grumpy, bottle. You single barrel of old Forrester. You make me grumpy. You could be so much better and so much more. And this is why people like the black labels. I think they're really desirable. I've never had one, but I can understand the appeal. See, that just smells great. That just smells lovely. This says hello. This shouts at you, "What's my name? What's my name?" This says hello. Yeah. I don't think the mouthfeel really suffers all that much. Black Forest cherries. Sweet. Like they've been fermenting for a couple days at the back of your refrigerator with a little pool of water or like juice. Finish. You don't get as much of a Kentucky hug. The finish is still there, but a little muted. Not in a bad way. Still a little sharp. Yeah, I much prefer this watered down. And it's to my benefit. I think it improves everything about this barrel strength bourbon to be proofed down to like 100 proof or to add a decent amount of water. And it's going to help me stretch this bottle out. And I'm pretty sure that they still have this barrel. I know they have another barrel that is a Warehouse I, floor 5. And I have not tried that one. That's even hotter. That's at 133 proof. Same price. But this K7, I'll give you an okay. You're pretty good. I like it. I'm glad that I tried this again at barrel proof to see what I was missing, and turns out that my suspicions were confirmed. I'm going to say goodbye to this one. It's going to go back into the cabinet, and chances are it will not come out until I'm ready to make some more. And I'll even show you the little decanter that I have when I do this. Hold on. Voila. It's nothing fancy. I think at one time it contained balsamic vinaigrette. But I like it because you just pick it up and you give it a little pour. I used to use it for maple syrup too. And now it fits about maybe like 4 or 5 pours worth of bourbon after it's been proofed down. And that's pretty good. I like that. It helps you ration it out. Plus it just makes me feel fancy. Anyway, thank you very much for paying attention to me for a brief moment of your lives. I'm going to finish this bourbon. I'm going to get ready for work. And then tomorrow, we'll see what that holds. I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet. But I know I'm going to have a good time. Thank you. Thank you very much for being here, Bourbon. You did a great job. That was nice. Good night.